Well, hey there, YouTube. PD2 Finger here, August 2nd. Been working like crazy, soldering cables and getting stuff set up. I did a pedal trade, which means the guy trades me his bad pedals and then I fix them. Anyway, I wanted to show a modification for the Weller wl100 soldering station. This is the most affordable, or the cheapest, commercially available soldering station with a brand name on it. You can get the same thing or similar for like 20. I think I used to see it for 17. Because of COVID, it's probably 90 now. Anyway, this is nothing special. It's a orange maroon color, orange, reddish orange, and I use this Huco. How do you say Huco? It's got about a 5-foot cord. It's a 60 watt. Comes with a little yellow adjuster here, which mine cracked off, and I just ran a piece of tape over that. But I like these Huco 900 clone because these tips here, I can get a bag of 10 tips for $1.99 or $1. I forget. We'll say $1.99. So a normal tip, a brand name tip, is $15, $18 for one tip. You say, well, those cheap tips don't last as long. Well, if I'm getting 10 of them for $2, I can afford to replace my tip once a week, once a month. And I don't. My tips usually last me about 3 months. So, and I solder a lot. I really do. That's probably going to be how I die. It's some kind of inhaling lead. Anyway, the modification I'm talking about is adding a solder dispenser, which is just a dowel. So you you put a fastener through the chassis. What you do is there's these two rubber feet, and you use a small Phillips, screwdriver, and pry those out. They pop out. So gently work those out of there. They will pop out and reveal two Phillips screw fasteners. So you take those two Phillipses out here, there's two more Phillipses next to it, and the whole bottom will come off. There's a little bag of sand which is used to weight it down, which is kind of neat. And then you'll move stuff out of the way. You can pull this outlet up, just kind of clear a path, and you'll look and see how there's really nothing in here, in this area where the heating vents are. Go ahead and from the top put a center mark and drill through that. And then I ran this fastener I had that was a lot like a drywall screw type of thread, but real loose kind of thread. And it had a little gap there. It was about 1.5 inches or about 8 centimeter fastener. And it had a very large head, very circumference, so almost like as big as a dime. Like this screw has a built-in washer in it. I really like these. They're aluminum, they're cheap looking screws. I ran into a bunch of them. They look like a newer design. Anyway, I have several screws like that in my collection that I just scavenged, all different lengths. I used the approximately 1.25 inch length for this, and it's just a piece of dowel, whatever. You could run a bolt through here and put another bolt onto a nut and a bolt and fasten that way. Whatever you got that you can attach onto here. I did it with a dowel and a fastener. And then I have this ball of dum-dum here. This is Bishop tape. I work for this company as a cable splicer and ended up, I accidentally had a roll of Bishop tape. That was like Y2K. I still have it. I've nursed it. But this is like a black rubber, like chewing gum, and you form it, and it's insulative. You can wrap tape around it or heat shrink compound. But I use this oftentimes if I don't want something sliding down. I'll take 4 little nibbles of that, smash it into the bottom of whatever it is and then jam it down on there. Like I've got a little pick holder over here, a little wooden box that's very small, just holds about 50 picks. And that's how I have that affixed to the area where I keep my pick box. So that's the modification for the wl100. I had it, my wife actually plugged it into a couple extension cords today, and it wasn't working. Like the light was on, so I don't know what that was all about. I took it all apart. Everything looked fine. It failed a couple times. I played it with this, cleaned these connections up, put it back in here, and it worked. So that's the modification, is putting a, and you know, another thing you could do, you could drill a hole up here and drill another hole in the front and just thread the solder through there and have it coming out the front, which would be really, really nifty. Just don't want to keep it away from any possibility of shorting. Earlier we did a video where I had repaired this pedal I had bought on a trade. I had replaced the LED and the camera just kind of cut out. So I thought I would, for the people that do watch my content, I've got a battery pack here. Gee, what did I do? Oh! So here is the LED that I replaced. So yeah, this is the Buying RV10, and I put a yellow LED in it, which I guess I should just go with restore to default, and then maybe you'd be able to see better that that's a yellow LED. I'm not sure what the Buying RV10 Tri-Reverb Baby Boom series, I'm not sure what that is stock, but for the money, taking this apart, this is a really well designed pedal and it sounds good. If you're looking for a reverb pedal that's not going to break the bank, that's just going to give you, like there's no like pitch shifted, ducking weird reverbs, it's just it's a plate, what is it, room, spring, and hall. And the room is, the spring is, it's kind of springish, you know, but like I said, for a cheap reverb that doesn't suck tone, that's the one that I recommend. I had done that trade, and of course, it didn't work. Anyway, I've been working like a dog getting the setup going here. I have these Switchcraft 90-degree connectors that if you look those up on eBay, there's a lot of fakes. The fakes are plastic around the solder tab so they melt. You have to really be adept at soldering those and use heat clips or some ice. But they're garbage. All of those 90s that you can get on eBay are fake. And I don't want the giant ones. I want, if you're familiar with a Switchcraft design 90-degree connector, that's the guitar cable that I really like to plug into my guitar. This here is not a Switchcraft 90. This is the cheap one that I will put up with. Okay, I will put up with those. They're not the other design is a Switchcraft ripoff, and those, they look like Switchcraft, but it's just a really crappy quality material. And then when the center thing comes up, there's a block to fasten it, and that's plastic, which it melts. It's not even special heat-resistant plastic. So yeah, this is a Switchcraft 90. This is a real one. It says on it Switchcraft. There's a couple of regular screwdriver fasteners in there that just kind of barely stick out. And this, I got one of these early on. I got a Switchcraft connector, a 90, when I was a kid, and I treasured it. It's on this red cable I call my performance cable. I think I've got 3 or 4 of these, but every time I become in possession of another one, I go like Switchcraft 90. But check it out. Go on eBay and see how much it costs to get one of these. $25 for one. Or I should say 24. But it's like $12.75 for the part with $12.75 shipping. So yeah, that's my new thing, is going to be going on some pedal forums and asking. Certainly not a person who knows it all. My life is a path. I know about this much, and I'm certainly not going to be ashamed to ask others for help. So if you know where to get a Switchcraft 90 for cheap, I'm looking at picking up about a dozen of them. I'd like to get those and just be set with them. You know, everyone should have a Switchcraft 90 at the end of their cable that they plug into their instrument. That's the way to go. So yeah, I've been getting this setup going and modifying it and making it better, and it's like every day it's like, okay, we're going to play today, and we don't end up playing because we run out of time. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you, and peace.